In the heart of Bakersfield, California, where love stories often come with a side of eccentricity, unfolded the tale of Dr. Jacquelyn Kotarac, a woman who decided that sliding down a chimney was the perfect way to rekindle her romance. As we delve into the bizarre events that led to her untimely demise, prepare to witness a sequence of choices that could only be described as love's twisted logic in action. This tale is about a unique woman named Dr. Jacquelyn Kotarac. This lady was not your ordinary person. She was a doctor. She was not only successful on her medical profession, but was also known for her sharp intellect and quick wit. So you would imagine she has good judgment, right? Not really. As we can see in this story, sometimes even people with high IQ can make really bad decisions. Dr. Kotarac found herself entangled in a love story that was anything but ordinary. Their romance was a roller coaster of emotions filled with ups, downs, and innumerous breakups. One day after being rejected by her lover, our dear doctor was quite upset. Her response? Well, she decided to channel her inner James Bond and embarked on a quest to breach her lover's fortress. Armed with determination and perhaps an unhealthy dose of liquid courage from a restaurant rendezvous, Kotarac first attempted a home invasion armed with nothing but a shovel through the back door. Picture this, a moonlit night. You are at home, minding your own business, and you see outside a shovel-wielding woman trying to break in through the back door. What would you do? Our friend, in a bid to avoid any confrontation, slipped out unnoticed through an alternative exit. When the shovel on the door seemingly doesn't cut it, what does a desperate lover do? Find an alternative entrance, of course. She escalated the operation, and armed with a ladder and an ambition that defied reason, she ascended to the rooftop, a theatrical climax for a love story that had taken an absurd turn. With calculated or misguided precision, she removed the chimney cap, beckoning the abyss below. Now, I don't know about you, but when I think of romantic gestures, I don't think about Santa Claus impersonations. But here's where things take a turn. Dr. Kotarac, fueled by passion and perhaps a dash of imprudence, made the fateful decision to shimmy down her lover's chimney, feet first into the flue. Quite the unconventional entrance method, wouldn't you say? As she descended into the sooty abyss, Dr. Kotarac's determination remained unshaken. However, the universe had other plans. The chimney's tight embrace became her prison, just about 2 feet above the interior opening of the fireplace, a tangible reminder of the emotional entanglement she sought to unravel. The more she struggled, the clearer it became. Not all grand gestures end in triumphant embraces. Now imagine being stuck in a chimney, the thick brick walls muffling your calls for help. And so, in the suffocating darkness of her predicament, a cruel twist of fate came into play. As she cried out for help, her struggles likely pushed her deeper into the chimney, her despair compounding her physical predicament. The very act, meant to bridge the gap between her and her distant lover, led to a tragic culmination. With each gasp for air, her lungs may have been crushed slowly, her breaths becoming shallower until they ceased altogether. Her man, when comes back home, sees her car parked in front of the house. After looking for her everywhere, he's puzzled, thinking, she is not in the yard. She is not in the house. Where could she be? After a few hours looking for her with no success, he gives up and thinks she went home. Little did he know she was right there all this time. 3 days after the ill-fated endeavor, an unusual, disturbing smell began to emanate, and her decomposing body was discovered. A grim surprise for a house-sitter who was hired to look after the homeowner's fish. The chimney, which had perhaps seemed like an unconventional love portal, had turned into a sinister trap. Firefighters spent 5 grueling hours dismantling the chimney to retrieve Dr. Kotarac's body. As the autopsy results unveiled, Kotarac met her end not through drama, but mechanical asphyxia, a scientific term for a romantic escapade gone terribly, tragically wrong. While the circumstances surrounding her last journey into the flue remained shrouded in mystery, one thing was clear: love can indeed cloud judgment, even to the point of self-destruction. As we conclude the tale of Dr. Jacquelyn Kotarac, one question lingers in the air. What prompts a person to channel their inner Santa Claus and attempt a chimney invasion? Was it a desperate bid for love's rekindling, or a cinematic gesture gone horribly awry? In a twist of irony, the chimney that Kotarac thought would lead her back into her lover's life became her final resting place, a poignant metaphor for a love story that defied logic and left her trapped in her own decisions. Amid the absurdity and dark humor, we're reminded that love, with all its complexities, can sometimes be the very force that drives us to actions as inexplicable as they are tragic. So let this be a cautionary tale for all. When love leads you to contemplate sliding down a chimney, perhaps it's time to reevaluate your life choices. In the end, the only thing deeper than the abyss of that chimney was the rabbit hole of emotions that entangled Dr. Jacquelyn Kotarac, leading her down a path that no sane person would dare to tread.